Okay guys, today we're making a desert landscape drawing. We're going to learn about foreground, middle ground, and background. Okay, so you have these pages. You can't see mine very good probably, but yours will be better. And they have ideas for different cactus, cacti. Okay, and then they also kind of have our inspiration that we're using to make our landscape. Things that are up close or in the foreground are going to be big. Things that are further away are going to be smaller. And then what makes these look really cool is just like bold outlines and bold colors. So you're going to be drawing in pencil and tracing in Sharpie. I'm just drawing in Sharpie so that you can really see what I'm doing. So no matter which cactus you choose to draw where, the idea will still be the same. We're still going to start with our foreground items here. Then we're going to do a couple of lines and mountains, and we'll do a sun, and we're going to add middle ground area here. Okay, so the first step is to look at your idea pages and do some foreground items. So this one, these are kind of tall. You don't want to have that much space if your foreground covered. All right, you could do like a tall one on each side and then some, because you need to be able to see your middle ground, right? So you could do like one tall thing and then maybe some smaller cacti, okay? But these are just to give you some ideas of some different cacti you could do. If you want to do this one down here, that's fine. It's going to be a small one, okay? I like this one where it layers up. So what you're going to do first, this first step is you choose your different cacti. Like I said, I like this one, I like this one, I like this one. So I might do like a taller one here on the side. It's got these big flat round shapes, and you don't necessarily have to do exactly what I'm doing. Okay, and then I might do like this one. And like I said, I like this little, if you want to do the little succulent one, it kind of starts with this little interior like this, and then you just start going outwards with these wider, and they get wider as they go, little shapes, okay? And then I'm gonna do this one here. So I ended up only having space for maybe around 3 cacti, okay? And don't forget to add your little textures as you go. You may not have time to do that now, or you might want to do it with a Sharpie later, actually. So do your foreground items, work on those for a minute, okay? And then we'll come back and we'll do our middle ground, background, sky. Okay, I ended up doing some overlapping here where this one came down in. Okay, so here are my foreground cacti. Okay, so now, like in this picture, we're gonna draw some lines back here, and that's gonna be like our middle ground. Okay, so now I'm gonna do just some wavy lines, and not all of these will have something on them. Okay, so I did one here, and then I'm gonna do one kind of like right here, and then maybe even another one right here. So this is gonna be where we're gonna put our next layer of cacti. Okay, so now along this area, I'm gonna draw some of these. Okay, I don't know what types of cacti these are, but that's where I'm gonna put these, okay? Oh, I like this one too, he's cute. All right, this one looks like a prickly pickle. Okay, ooh, and I like these. Look at these, you guys. Okay, sorry, I get really excited about these. Okay, so since I had a really tall one here, I'm gonna do a tall cactus over here. And again, I am doing mine in Sharpie. So I'm gonna do something weird and leave some spaces. When you do yours, you could just draw it and then erase where you need to erase. But I know that I'm gonna wanna draw some arms on it. Now, we don't wanna make it too big. He has like these big old arms on him, right? So then where my spaces are, I'm gonna draw the arm with a little curve in it so it looks like it's going into the cactus like this. If you drew it, you could do it in pencil and then just erase right there, okay? I'm gonna do a big one right here. And there we go. And then again, you can come back later and add more textures. This one in the picture just has these lines. It doesn't really have like the prickly texture, even though it probably is. It just has these little lines for texture. Okay, I love the textures on these different cacti. They make a really big impression, okay? And it's still gonna be pretty big because it's still pretty close to us. So then you can add some more things along here, like some of these tall plants that I saw and I was just oohing and eyeing over. Maybe like one of these again. Okay, so you could draw a few things along here. Okay, so I have a few things here. Now, this is where things are gonna get really small. So we've got foreground, we've got middle ground, so now our background is gonna get really small. And again, remember, we wanna leave space for our mountain back here and our sun. So I'm gonna do the background. You've got this overlapping effect, okay? So I'm gonna do the background right here where it's coming through all of these, okay? And I'll draw a few things along the background line. But again, I'm gonna do this kind of situation where you get just a couple of extra lines going across. Okay, this is a little bit advanced. If this is a little too hard for you, if you just have the lines that we're doing, that is totally fine. Okay, and then along this line, I'm gonna put some small, you see how there's small plants and small cacti back there, smaller plants and smaller cacti back there. Okay, so I'm gonna do that back there, just some small ones. So again, this time I'm gonna really simplify it. This one, it was closer. So it had more details, but this one, we're just gonna kind of simplify it down. And I'm still gonna add a few little details in there, but it's gonna be really simple. And I'm still gonna do some other little things. Maybe some more overlapping. It's far away. Okay, and that's why we went from front to back. Because if you had drawn this cactus first, right, then it overlaps with this cactus. So we have to make sure that we're doing I like to go front to back usually. That's just what I like to do. So you're gonna add a few more details along here, okay? And then we'll come back and we'll do our mountain and our sun, and then you get to trace and Sharpie. Okay, so now we're gonna draw the mountain area and the sun, okay? So I'm gonna do, first of all, I wanna leave plenty of space up here. So I'm gonna bring, it's not like a full mountain, it's more like, kind of like a rolling mountain, like a rolling hill and a mountain put together, okay? So I did that, and then I'm gonna come through, because I have my Sharpie right now, and I'm gonna add some of these texture lines, which they do have, they just did them kind of in white. So we might do some more of these next week too, when we paint, because we're gonna paint these. Okay, now for your sun, you're gonna have a better circle than what I have. I'm gonna bring some circles that are a little bit smaller, but I'm just gonna trace the inside of my tape so that I get a perfect circle. You'll lay it down and you'll trace around it, okay? And you wanna overlap the mountain, so you get your circle, and then you're gonna draw lines. Now you could draw straight lines, but in one of them that I looked at, because I saw several examples of these, they had these kind of wavy lines, which to me look kind of vintage and retro, so I kind of like that. So that's what I'm gonna do, okay? And then we're gonna trace and Sharpie. Now I used a regular Sharpie. You do not have to. You can use a skinny Sharpie. And then next week we're gonna paint these with watercolors, and they're gonna be so pretty. I can't wait. Okay, so finish drawing and tracing and Sharpie, and if you don't finish that step, then you can start it early next week as soon as you get back to class.